Nowadays you can get all sorts of different electric cars. Big saloons, tiny city cars. But what you couldn't get is a fully electric, sporty station wagon. Well, until now, because this is the Porsche Taycan Cross Turismo, and as you can see, it's a slightly different version of the regular Taycan, because this is the station version, although Porsche prefers to call it a crossover. The biggest difference with this Cross Turismo compared to the regular Taycan is of course this roof line, giving it this car a bit more interior space and more luggage space here in the back. But that's not all, the car also sits a little higher, giving it a bit more ground clearance, and according to Porsche you even can do a little bit of off-roading with this Cross Turismo. Now I'm not sure a lot of people would do that, because after all this is still a Porsche, which means it's not cheap. You can choose from 4 versions with this Taycan Cross Turismo. The basic version is the 4, which is available from 99,500 euros here in the Netherlands. Then you can get the Taycan 4S, that's the car that I have here today, and then you have to pay at least 160,000 euros. Now the version above that is the Turbo Cross Turismo, which costs 159,000 euros. And the top model is the Turbo S Cross Turismo, which costs 193,000 euros. Again, here in the Netherlands. That top version has 761 horsepower and does 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in only 2.9 seconds. This version, the 4S, has 571 horsepower in overboost mode and does 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 4.1 seconds. The wheels on this car are 20-inch wheels, which will cost you 2,300 euros. As standard, you get 19-inch wheels. By now you're probably already familiar with the front of the Taycan, because the car has been out for a while now. And on this Cross Turismo you get exactly the same front. So let's focus on the back here, because this is completely different. As you can see, it doesn't have the sloping roofline like the regular Taycan, but it has this roofline that continues all the way to the back, making it this car a station wagon. You get a fixed spoiler here on the back, and you even get a rear wiper here on the rear window. And the side window here, the last one, is a little bit bigger now because of the new roofline. Now because this car is basically a hatchback, you now can get much bigger items in the Taycan without any trouble, making it this a very practical car, especially compared to the regular Taycan. You even get a little net here on the side and an electric band here on the side as well. A couple of hooks on the side for your groceries and some hooks on the bottom, on the floor. You get a 12-volt outlet. And of course you get a little bit more luggage space now, 446 liters here. And in the front you still get 84 liters. And under the floor you also get a bit more storage space, where you can for example leave your charging cables. Now of course you can also fold the rear seats down, which you have to do manually. There's no lever here or a button which does it electronically, which is a bit odd considering the price point of this car. However, if you do that you get 1200 liters of storage space, and then you can easily fold a mountain bike in here. Now if you don't want to put your mountain bike in the car, you can always get a bike rack that Porsche has developed. It will fit 3 bikes and you can tilt it a little bit so you can still open the tailgate. It is a bit pricey because you have to pay 1,800 euros for it. And if you don't want to take your bikes with you, but your skis, then Porsche has something for you as well. They have developed the Porsche Performance Roof Box. Yes, you heard that right. They developed it in a wind tunnel on top of a Cross Turismo, and it turns out it works perfectly fine up to 200 kilometers an hour. It will cost you 1,400 euros. Because station wagons or estate cars aren't really popular at the moment, Porsche prefers to call this a crossover. Now they raised the car by 2 centimeters compared to the regular Taycan, and even 3 centimeters if you go for the off-road design package that this car has. And as standard on the Cross Turismo you also get these black plastic elements around the wheel arches, making this car look a bit more like a crossover. As standard you also get the gravel mode, which you can enable on the screen in the interior. If you hit that button the car will raise up a little bit, and the traction control will be a bit more relaxed, so you can have a bit more fun on the dirt road. And if you opt to go for the off-road design package, which again this car has and will cost you 1,700 euros, you get these plastic protective elements around the corners of the front and rear bumpers, and at the end of the side skirts, which will protect against stones and also again to make the car look a bit more tough. Thanks to the continuous roofline here in the back, you have quite a bit more headroom compared to the regular Taycan. To be precise, 4.5 centimeters, which is quite a lot. Now I'm 180 and I still got plenty of room left between my head and the roof. This car has the optional panoramic roof. Regarding legroom, it's basically the same as a regular Taycan, meaning it's decent but not super. I left this seat in the same seating position as the one I'm using when I'm driving, and my knees won't hit the seat, but my knees are a bit higher up, which is not that comfortable if I have to sit here for hours on end. So how does it drive, this Taycan Cross Turismo? Well, basically the same as a regular Taycan, meaning really good. Well, first of all, it's just blazing fast. You just press the accelerator for a little bit and you just leap forward. Again, this is the 4S version, which will do 100 kilometers an hour in only 4.1 seconds, but you can get two versions that are quicker, just like the regular Taycan. You also have the Turbo and the Turbo S, but still 4.1 seconds is just a lot of fun in, well, a station wagon. In the corners is also really fun to drive. It is really a proper Porsche. They really managed to do that, even if it's electric and weighs a lot of tons. This weighs over 2 tons, but it still handles in the corners like a proper Porsche. It really stays flat, and also the steering is very natural and very direct. So again, they really made it fun driving electric sports station wagon in the case of this Cross Turismo. Now the Cross Turismo you can only get at this point with the biggest battery, meaning that the starting price of 99,500 euros is actually not that bad if you compare it to the basic version of the regular Taycan that you can get from around 89,000 euros. Now again, these are the prices in the Netherlands. They will differ a couple of thousand euros compared to other countries. In some countries it will be a couple of thousand euros cheaper or more expensive. But this car has the biggest battery, at 93.4 kilowatt hours. And on the basic Taycan you also can get the smaller battery, which you can't get on this Cross Turismo. Now how far can you get with this Cross Turismo? Now around 350 kilometers in real world driving. Depends a bit on where you live and what your drive style is. If it's really cold, it will be a bit less. And if you're really a sporty driver, it will also be a little bit less, of course. But if you daily drive it in a normal fashion, 350 kilometers is easily doable. Now this Cross Turismo is also a little bit more expensive compared to the regular basic Taycan, because the basic Taycan has coil springs and this one has adaptive suspension as standard, which makes this car a lot more fun to drive and a lot more comfortable. And if I would get the regular Taycan, I would always go for the air suspension option. But on this Cross Turismo, as I said, you get it as standard. Now the biggest advantage of the Taycan, of the regular one, and this Cross Turismo is the fact that you can really fast charge it really fast. You can charge it up to 270 kilowatts, meaning that you get about 100 kilometers in 5 minutes, depending if you can find the right charger, of course. And also that within 23 minutes the battery is always full up to 80%. Again, if you can find the right chargers. And at home you can charge it up to 11 kilowatts, or if you pay extra, up to 22 kilowatts. Now on the interior front there's not much to say, because this is exactly the same interior that you get in a regular Taycan. Meaning a lot of screens, you get a big digital gauge cluster in front of you, you get a big display in the center, and one down here below where you can change the temperature and stuff like that. And also the gravel mode on this car. Like I said before, this car has the gravel mode, which raises the suspension a little bit and makes the traction control a little bit more relaxed, so you can have a bit more, well, fun on the dirt roads. So that's it for this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this, and I hope you do, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you at the next video.